Greetings and salutations to all. Today's video focuses on the release of billions of nanoplastics when baby food is microwaved in plastic containers. It has been found that exposure to these plastic particles can result in the death of up to 75% of cultured kidney cells. Recent research conducted at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln suggests that the quickest method of heating food and beverages may also be the most efficient way of consuming large amounts of tiny plastic particles. Without any delay, let us begin our discussion. When heating containers of baby food in the microwave, an astonishing amount of nanoplastics are released into the food. The consequences of this exposure are dire, as research has shown that up to 75% of cultured kidney cells are killed by these plastic particles. According to recent research conducted by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, the most rapid method of heating food and beverages may also be the most efficient means of consuming significant amounts of microscopic plastic particles. Research has demonstrated that subjecting plastic baby food containers, readily accessible in American retail establishments, to microwave radiation can result in the emission of an immense quantity of plastic particles. In certain instances, the release exceeds 2 billion nanoplastics and 4 million microplastics per square centimeter of the container's surface area. While the impact of consuming micro and nanoplastics on health is still uncertain, the team from Nebraska discovered that 75% of embryonic kidney cells in their study perished within a 2-day period when exposed to these particles. In 2022, the World Health Organization released a report advising the restriction of exposure to such particles. The lead author of the study, Qazi Albab Hussain, who is currently pursuing a doctorate in civil and environmental engineering at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, emphasized the significance of understanding the quantity of micro and nanoplastics we consume. While we typically have access to information regarding the caloric content, sugar levels, and other nutrients in the foods we eat, it is equally crucial that we are knowledgeable about the presence of plastic particles in our food. In order to fully comprehend the potential dangers posed by plastic particles, it is imperative that we grasp their ingestion levels, much like we understand the effects of calories and nutrients on our well-being. Numerous studies, including our own, are revealing a strong correlation between the toxicity of micro and nanoplastics and the extent of one's exposure to them. In 2021, the team initiated their research, coinciding with Hussein's new role as a father. Although previous studies had explored the dispersion of plastic particles from baby bottles, the team recognized the absence of research on the specific types of plastic containers and pouches that Hussein and countless other parents frequently purchase. To investigate the potential presence of micro and nanoplastics in commonly used baby food containers, Hussein and his team conducted a series of experiments. They selected 2 FDA-approved plastics, polypropylene and polyethylene, and utilized them in the form of 2 containers, one made from polypropylene and the other a reusable pouch made of polyethylene. The researchers filled these containers with deionized water or a solution of 3% acetic acid, which imitates the acidity levels found in dairy products, fruits, vegetables, and similar consumables. The containers were then subjected to 3 minutes of full power heating in a 1000 watt microwave. Following this, the liquids were carefully analyzed to detect any micro or nanoplastics present. Microplastics refer to particles with a diameter of at least 1/1000th of a millimeter, while nanoplastics encompass even smaller particles. The quantity of particles emitted during the process of microwaving varied depending on several variables, such as the type of plastic container and the liquid contained within it. However, utilizing a comprehensive model that considered factors like particle release, body weight, and per capita consumption of different food and beverages, the research team was able to estimate that infants who consume products prepared with microwaved water and toddlers who consume microwaved dairy products are exposed to the highest concentrations of plastic. Furthermore, experiments conducted to replicate the storage of food and drinks at both refrigeration and room temperature over a period of 6 months indicated that both scenarios could result in the release of micro and nanoplastics. Hussein acknowledged that, despite his best efforts, he couldn't completely eliminate the use of plastic for his baby. However, he did manage to steer clear of situations that resulted in a higher release of micro and nanoplastics. It is crucial for individuals to be aware of these scenarios and make informed choices accordingly. Working alongside Svetlana Romanova of the University of Nebraska Medical Center, the team proceeded to cultivate and subject embryonic kidney cells to the authentic plastic particles emitted by the containers. To the best of Hussein's knowledge, this was the first time such an experiment had been conducted. Instead of solely introducing the quantity of particles released by a single container, the researchers opted to expose the cells to particle concentrations that infants and toddlers could potentially accumulate over the course of several days, or from various sources. In previous studies on the toxicity of micro and nanoplastics, the mortality rate among kidney cells exposed to high concentrations was significantly lower than what was observed after just 2 days in the present study. This suggests that kidney cells may be more vulnerable to the particles compared to other cell types examined in earlier research. It is worth noting that previous studies primarily focused on larger polypropylene particles, some of which may have been too large to enter cells. Therefore, the findings of the Hussein-led study are particularly alarming. Regardless of the experimental conditions, the study revealed that polypropylene containers and polyethylene pouches release approximately 1,000 times more nanoplastics than microplastics. According to Hussein, there are numerous questions that need to be addressed in order to fully understand the potential risks associated with consuming micro and nanoplastics, including the issue of cell infiltration. However, if these plastics do indeed pose a health hazard, and considering that plastic containers are commonly used for storing baby food, it would be in the best interest of parents to encourage manufacturers to explore alternative options. Hussein expressed the importance of locating polymers that have a reduced release of particles. It is possible that scientists will eventually create plastics that do not emit any micro or nanoplastics, or if they do, the emission would be insignificant. My hope is that in the future, we will see labels on these products proudly proclaiming their freedom from microplastics or nanoplastics. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.